Yeah, welcome back, man. My boy Diddy. That nigga Diddy out, man. They say he out. I know he beat the charges, so we about to see what's going on, but he found not guilty, man. So we about to see what's going on, y'all.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Impressive Channel. A verdict has officially been reached in this P. Diddy trial, and man, I gotta tell you, Diddy is lucky. He beat that RICO charge and those trafficking charges.
Yeah,
he was only found guilty on 2 counts of the prostitution charges relating to Cassie and Jane Doe, which are still big charges, but they're not as severe as the RICO and the trafficking. Now, the prosecution did drop the ball on this one. I think they tried to make something stick that didn't quite stick. And one of the things they tried to make stick was the RICO charge. Now, the prosecution argued that Diddy conspired with a network of people under his company to commit kidnapping, arson, bribery, forced labor, transportation to engage in prostitution, trafficking, witness tampering, and possession with intent to distribute controlled substances. And I will say, I do feel like the prosecution did have a lot of examples to back up their claims against Diddy. I mean, for one, he did bribe the Intercontinental Hotel. He paid them off $100,000 to prevent that footage of him beating down Cassie from coming out. And as far as the arson claims are concerned, I mean, Diddy did allegedly have Kid Cudi's car blown up after he found out that Kid Cudi was messing around with Cassie. And Cassie did say in an email sent to Diddy's assistant, Capricorn Clark, that Diddy planned to hurt her and Kid Cudi, but he would leave the country when it happened. And it so happened that
that nigga Diddy on some special agent shit, boy. He on some double set. That nigga blowing people's cars up. This nigga is not playing, y'all. Oh my gosh. I ain't know that was
car blew up. I mean, if you put the 2 and 2 together, he was behind that. Also, when it came to kidnapping, Diddy's assistant Capricorn Clark said that he came to her apartment after finding out that Cassie was messing with Kid Cudi, and he forced her out and had a gun in his hand, so he was intimidating her, and he told her, "Get dressed, we're going to off Kid Cudi." And when she said she didn't want to go, he said, "I don't give an F what you want." He allegedly forced her out against her will. I mean, that to me sounded like an example of kidnapping. Not to mention, when it came to the distribution of controlled substances, Diddy had a lot of illegal substances. He used these substances for his freak-offs, and they were passing these substances to some of the escorts too. So I think the prosecutors used these examples to support the RICO charge against him. But the thing is, the jury wasn't convinced that he was running a criminal enterprise. Now, Diddy was definitely doing some crimes, but the Bad Boy Enterprise is a music and entertainment company. It's not a company funded through criminal activity. The prosecution also was carrying out these trafficking charges against Diddy. He faced 2 counts of trafficking against his ex-girlfriend Cassie and one of his other ex-girlfriends, Jane Doe, who a lot of people believe is 50 Cent's baby mama, Daphne Joy. But the prosecution argued that Diddy trafficked these women through force and threats of force and fraud and coercion. And I do think the prosecution made a good case for Cassie, even though she seemingly consented to the freak-offs. And for those who don't know, the freak-offs are when Diddy would actually pay for escorts to come in and sleep with Cassie, and he would record them. Those are what the freak-offs were. Even though Cassie seemingly consented to it to please Diddy, she didn't always want to do it. For the most part, she was drugged up during these freak-offs. Not to mention, there was a lot of control and force used in this whole situation because she was signed to Diddy. So her career and her livelihood was in his hands. She felt like she couldn't release music if she didn't do the freak-offs. Also, Diddy used violence and force against her to make her do what he wanted. I mean, he beat her up multiple times. We've seen it on tape. Not to mention, he blackmailed her by threatening to release explicit tapes of her, and he even extorted her own mother. So I felt like there was a lot of coercion in that situation, but the prosecution was unable to convince the jury that Cassie was actually being trafficked, because Diddy's defense team was able to really show that these freak-offs weren't considered trafficking. These were just consensual activities between adults, and they showed that Cassie did set up and plan a lot of the freak-offs. Of course, under Diddy's instruction, but they painted it in a way that Cassie was the one orchestrating all of it, and in some ways that kind of made her culpable. And as far as the Jane Doe witness is concerned, I didn't feel like her testimony was really strong for the prosecution's case, because she was actually a willing participant in the freak-offs because Diddy was paying her bills.
Man, and it's crazy why a lot of people got a lot of shit to say about this situation. This is my first time really listening to every little detail about certain shit in the court, in a case like that. But, man, all these motherfuckers was into them freak-offs and shit. Man, politicians, celebrities, athletes, they was in there, what I'm saying? They was at them parties, bro. So, it's like, try to come at him and like, oh yeah, he doing this, he doing that, and y'all doing the same shit. It's a secret life, secret society, man. Them niggas all into that lifestyle, man. And it be funny now he out. Now what? I want to see how niggas' reaction gonna be now, since he,
So she's not seen as a trafficking victim either. The only counts that he was found guilty of was transportation to engage in prostitution, and that pertains to both Cassie and Jane Doe. We know that Diddy is guilty as sin when it comes to that, because he definitely was paying for and flying out escorts to do freak-offs with his girlfriends while he watched in the corner. So I definitely knew that he was going to be found guilty for those counts, and each of those prostitution charges carry a maximum of 10 years. But do I think he's going to spend 10 years for each of those counts? Honestly, no. I think he might get much less time than that, considering that he is a first-time offender. He has a good legal team, and they're currently trying to get him out on bond. Also, I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to get him pardoned by Donald Trump, But yeah, when I look at how this whole thing played out, honestly, the prosecution really fumbled this case. I understood what they were trying to do, but I think the focus was more on Diddy's freaky behavior and his abuse towards women than it was on the actual charges that really mattered. I don't think they did a good enough job really convincing the jury. Also, I feel like the prosecutors didn't go as deep as they could have with this case, but I realized they were really trying not to implicate other celebrities. That's what I noticed. They were very careful not to do that. They just wanted to get Diddy, but I think their efforts ended up falling a little flat. So it is what it is, but it still doesn't change the fact that Diddy is really a horrible person. I mean, he has done some monstrous things and has gotten away, but you know what? Some people don't even care about that. They're just glad that they feel like Diddy got a victory over the feds. His family left the courtroom in all smiles. I'm sure they're very happy because, Diddy is their loved one. So I don't fault them for being happy, but I was confused to see Ray J celebrating.
Diddy, you're not guilty. Diddy, Jigger, not guilty. I got all of my mommies.
But then again, I remembered what Suge Knight said. He said that Ray J allegedly was Diddy's lover.
Ray J and Puffy definitely were lovers. Ray J. I said Ray J and Puffy was lovers. Really? Yeah. Was that well known?
Ray J definitely.
Lil Boosie was also celebrating Diddy's verdict.
Ray J,
man, I'm so glad Diddy free, bro. The reason is because I'm tired of seeing those black moguls get took down like that, bro. And I'm tired of seeing those black people go against us black moguls like that. If he was white, there had so many white people out there protesting for this man.
That's a lie. Nobody was protesting for Harvey Weinstein when he got locked up. I mean, come on. Truthfully, this shouldn't be about race. I mean, if somebody is committing crimes and doing wrong to people, they should be held accountable. One of Diddy's other girlfriends, Young Miami.
But what I was saying, y'all, the main thing, I feel what Boosie saying, but the main thing, I want to add in, it's like, if you gonna get Diddy, you gotta get everybody. And not that he was up there and commanding shit and all that stuff, but these niggas just small puppets, man. they got them big dogs. It's the niggas that's behind the scenes for real. You know, just like Donald Trump. People, oh, Trump. Like, these niggas is not no big, you know, big dog, bro. These niggas puppets they put in the front purposely to, you know, orchestrate little things and shit to have them on the front line. But, man. And then it's like the same celebrities, stars, all them niggas, athletes, politicians, bro. That nigga Diddy had all them niggas hanging around. They going to the islands. They going to, you know, they doing all the freaky shit, man. This what these niggas into, man. And it's been going on for years, man. Years.
She also reacted to the verdict. She posted this meme of Justin Bieber doing the clock it gesture with his hands. And also, it seemed like she was praying on X because she said 11:11, God please. And then when the verdict came out, she put 11:11 with heart emojis. So she's probably happy that Diddy is getting out so he could continue helping her career and giving her money, you know. Also, Diddy's nemesis, 50 Cent, reacted to the verdict. You know, 50 has been trolling Diddy all throughout this whole ordeal because he was mad at the fact that Diddy was sleeping with his baby mama, Daphne. But he said, Diddy beat the Rico, that boy a bad man. He like the gay John Gotti. 50 just doesn't care. He really doesn't care. Cassie's lawyer also released a statement praising her courage for opening up the door for Diddy to be found guilty of the prostitution charges. But I don't know. I don't feel like this is really a satisfying victory. I think Cassie got what she wanted. She got her story out there and she got her money. But at the same time, it came with a cost. Her reputation took a hit, and maybe her husband even looked at her differently after the case. And also, her life was in danger. I think if Diddy gets out, her life could be in danger, and so could the other witnesses. Cassie's lawyer did send a letter to the judge to try to get his bond denied, so I do think she is fearful of what could happen, you know, because you never know. You never know what Diddy could do. Now, I would think that Diddy wouldn't be dumb enough to retaliate because he's very lucky to get off the way he did. I mean, he fell to his knees in court, and I know that he couldn't even believe the verdict. So he's very, very, very lucky. But see, people like Diddy are used to getting away with things, and because they've gotten away with so much, they don't quit. So who knows, he might retaliate against Cassie and all the other people who took the stand. But anyway, tell me what y'all think about this video down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share.
Can't stop, won't stop, can't stop. Hey, my boy Diddy, boy, you know, but you know, it's not surprising, man. That's why I was telling people when he first, you know, got caught up into all this shit. You know, them niggas, they don't really got nothing to stick on him like that, really. It's like, yeah, they got a lot of the evidence, but they don't. It's like, it's a reason they had raided his house. How they raided his house like that. That nigga had cameras everywhere, bro. You know, the type of motherfuckers Diddy got all them. I told you, bro, he got all them niggas. All them niggas into all that shit, bro. Trust me. You know, we might not see it because it's not put on the front. You know, front light. You know, the front screen. But, man, it goes on, man. And it goes down after dark. Yeah. So, yeah, bro. You know, and Diddy been, and at the end of the day, Diddy been showing you his lifestyle for years, man, since I ever knew about Diddy, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm not saying it's right, man, but that's what niggas, that's one thing about the devil, man. He put this shit up front your face, bro. And there's a lot of niggas. These niggas be telling you they into kids, they into child pedophilia. This is what they do, you know, sacrificing, you know, so it's not surprising. But yeah, man. Y'all leave a comment, man. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about that nigga Diddy, man. You know, with his case and shit, man. But yeah, man, y'all already know what it is. Shout out to my I.F.O. We be back. Out.